even know what this style is called. Jennifer McMurray can tell you. We had an oven incident, more specifically a gas incident, because we got a new oven, new to us anyway, saved like hundreds of dollars, exciting stuff. So we're going to show you what happened and now what we're left with and the challenge that we face. Go ahead.
Cool. So we're going to show you the stove first. This is our brand new super cool stove that we're going to show you that we just got. Here it is.
It has shiny parts.
Yes, very nice. Stainless steel, we'll zoom in on it.
GE.
Boom, there we go. So it looks really, really cool, but we had an issue that came up with it. Not with the stove itself, but also just kind of with something that happened yesterday. So we were trying to get the hoses disconnected and whatnot to be in, and then get the new stove in and get the old one out, when the copper line that we had snapped and there was a hissing sound, and then we all got out of Dodge. So after a couple of hours out on the lawn with the very nice first responders getting here very quickly, and then the guy from the energy company coming to check it out, now we have zero stove. So we figured this would be a great opportunity to take on a new challenge for ourselves. How are we going to cook? How could someone cook without a stove, without an oven, and still provide hot meals?
So for those of you who don't know, we don't own a microwave, and it's by choice. We just don't need a lot of things on our counter. We're moving towards minimalism, so no toaster oven, no rotisserie. We used to have some of those things. We've sold them over the years. We do have, should I go through the list?
Yep, go through the list.
There's not that many things. We have
I'm
a
excited
bread maker.
I'm excited about some of these.
We do have a bread making machine, so we can do that. We do have a waffle iron. It's a small one back here. Doug will tell you the other thing
There
we
you go.
have.
So we've got the waffle iron, we've got the bread machine, there's the waffle iron.
It makes one at a time.
That's right. So we also, there's a fire pit outside. We'll see if we get to that, but we're kind of focused on just things inside the house. So after that, we've also got, one of the ones I'm excited about is we have a Keurig coffee machine, and I was just thinking, like, it's basically hot water pouring out onto whatever to get that going. So I'm thinking oatmeal should definitely be possible. We're going to explore some possibilities there.
Can you put dehydrated tomatoes and some salt and get
See, I don't see why you.
Oh
I
gosh, no,
don't
we're
see
not
why
trying
you
that.
couldn't. We're going to get super creative.
The other thing
Hopefully.
we have is a steamer rice maker, but again, it only serves like 3-4 people. I usually double up the amount that's in it. So
Now,
things are going to get interesting.
yes, we're going to try the more challenging things first. By default, we do have a crock pot, so we could always go there.
True.
If things get too little, I have no clue how this is going to work, or this didn't work out, we'll probably default to the crock pot. But, so there it is. There's the challenge that we're going to be doing this week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, maybe some desserts, all cooked if they need to be baked and cooked with things that are not a stove or an oven, no microwave, no toaster oven, none of that stuff. Can we still get hot meals going for everybody with just that? Fingers crossed, we're going to keep you posted. We're going to make breakfast in a few minutes, and we'll show you how that part goes. So stay tuned and see what happens.
Okay, we're back, and it's breakfast time. Different noonday earrings. These are a paper bead and also a bracelet. I think I have a necklace, but I couldn't find it quickly.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so it's breakfast time, and it's day one. So this is the first sort of no stove, but still hot foods hack that we're going to do. And we're going to have oatmeal and coffee for breakfast. So this is our little coffee station. For when people come over, we can have tea up here. We've got ground coffee. We've got a Derby coffee. And we also have BU Cafe in Durham. Very good. Also Driftaway, which sends coffee from farmers in like individual owned farmers in Africa, Asia, South America, places like that.
You can do it as a coffee of the month, and you set up a profile, and when you say, I really liked this about this coffee, they'll then send you the next one similar, but also different. It's interesting.
It's all private, sort of individual owned farmers just sort of coming together. Driftaway just sort of collects them and then disperses. So we're going to have coffee, from one of those places. And of course we've got at our coffee station, we have our Keurig. Very cool. This was a big blessing. We got this totally for free. Someone just gave it to us.
And then somebody before that gave it to them. So, yay.
There we go. See? That's called, and we're just saving all kinds of money here at this house with this show. Okay, so we're going to get started with our oatmeal. And
the
this
first
is what we
thing
got.
I did was I ran some hot water already in the mug to warm up the mug. So I'll dump that into the next one and use this.
In certain dishes, when you want to do them, you definitely want to warm up the mug. Some people like to warm up their coffee beforehand, their coffee mug beforehand, so that the temperature of the mug doesn't make the coffee cold. So you've got hot mug plus hot coffee.
And we have no way to heat it up after this because, again, no microwave. So.
There we go. So
okay.
have to get it right.
We're going to put that mug under there. We got this from a friend. Thank you, friends. We love you.
Okay.
And I said, oh, we'll just hit 6 ounces on the water section. But then Doug said...
Yes, so some people know this and some people don't. So when you have a Keurig, if you just do, if you're just trying to dispense some hot water in the thing, here I'll zoom in a little bit. When you're just trying to dispense hot water into the mug, the issue becomes that it only gives you about 6 ounces.
The choices are 6 and 4.
6 and 4. Well, I like 8 ounces of water, and this mug holds 10, even though it looks kind of small. It's 10. So what you do is, you take one of these K-cups, and we have the K-cups.
We use the
there we go.
reusable since
This
we
is
grind our
reusable. We don't do the, because we're trying to lower our carbon footprint a little bit here. So what we do is we just take this, and it's totally empty, as you can see, hopefully. And when you put an empty one in, then it lets you go up to 10 ounces.
So before he pushes that, he's going to let it fill up 8 ounces. So we have our Pampered Chef prep bowls, so we look official here. And I'm putting in half a cup of oats and almost a tablespoon of brown sugar because I like mine sweet. I know I shouldn't put in that much, but I do.
Yep. All right. So
now
here we go.
just need the 8 ounces of water.
And we're going to go ahead and set it. It's already set to 8 ounces, and that's because we have the empty coffee pod in there. So now we just go through the process. The Keurig runs through the cycle and pours down onto the brown sugar and the oatmeal at the same time.
So then we also, I'm going to pull it away. I don't know why it's coming out further. We have these nifty little, because we don't use much plastic wrap. There's lots of things we don't use. We're not big on unitaskers. If it only does one thing, we're pretty quick to get rid of it. And if it's something that we just feel is a waste to the environment, we tend to get rid of it. So this is a reusable little, I call it a shower cap. It's not going to fit anybody's head. And I'll put this over top of the mug to kind of keep in the warmth and get it to steam while in there. I'm sure you could use a lid or anything. Some of you might even have something fancier or whatever that's specifically for coffee cups. I don't know.
That's right.
Okay, so that's done. So I'm going to take it and just put on my little shower cap thing here. And Doug, if you have something else to say, you can say it. But we're going to make coffee, and I think breakfast will be served in 5 to 10 minutes.
Very cool. Yep, it sure will. Nope. So we're just going to do the oatmeal now, and then of course coffee later. And of course we just run the coffee through the Keurig itself. But in terms of that, I kind of like, some people do grounds, and that's fine if you just buy the grounds naturally. I like to buy whole bean, so whether it's Derby or the Drift Away, we do whole bean. I do get BU Cafe, comes as ground already. That's kind of like if I want something quick, or if we have company come over, we need to do it quick. But I do have something else that I got for free. Also, my little coffee grinder here. This is a Mr. Coffee grinder. I got this for free also, thanks Mom. And this was a nice little surprise also, so super cool. We're gonna grind up some beans, get it going in the Keurig over here. Our oatmeal is steeping inside its little shower cap, and that's how we're gonna do breakfast on day 1.
We might add some fruit or almonds or something to make it more well.
Oh yeah, always add fruit. You can jazz up your instant oatmeal, even though this is kind of instant oatmeal. You can jazz it up with fruit or spices or almonds or any sort of other thing, any kind of a flavoring you want. You can add it as a flavor component in another little glass bowl and just put it right in the cup, and it'll just take care of it. And I think that's it. That's all I got.
We don't own a dishwasher, so I'm going to go hand wash these.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, and we'll catch you for lunch.
I'm here at the Glenning household, and I have my noonday earrings. These are one of my favorites. They're a feather pattern, but there's multiple colors and styles. Anyway, we made bread in our bread machine. We did the quick, fast route, which takes more yeast, but I get yeast in quart containers, and it fills up too. So yeast we have plenty of. Heat we have none, or low. So we are going to use a waffle iron and make a grilled cheese sandwich. And Doug's going to talk you through that. Oh, I thought that was the after. It's supposed to be like, and here we are, it's done.
Alright, so this is the finished one. We'll
This
show.
is the finished one.
This is the finished one. We'll show you this one a little later. But we're going to go through the process. So what we have is you've got the waffle iron, and when you do a grilled cheese sandwich, the way everybody does a grilled cheese sandwich on the stove, you have the bread and it's in the pan. We like to use cast iron because it has a more even heat, but whatever you use. So you put the bread in the pan, you've got the cheese on top, and then you just put the other one, and then you sit there flipping it. Well, we've heard that some people, not many, will do their grilled cheese by having two pans both heated at the same time, and you one on top of the other. So, because it more evenly melts the cheese. So we decided that to replicate that without a stove, we would use a waffle iron, because waffle iron is, of course, two hot plates that can press down on something simultaneously. Now, to increase the meltability, which is not a real word, but it is now patented, of the cheese, we shred our cheese from the whole blocks. This is a New York sharp cheddar, gives it kind of a nice tang. And this is a medium cheddar, which we melted just for the creaminess and that nice little ooey gooey thing that you can get from it. We don't really do the squares like you would for a regular sandwich. This just melts better.
And we don't do the grated because we found out a few years ago that I'm allergic to corn. So I break out really bad. My skin has never been clear. We went about 9 months without corn, but corn is in everything. So if you ever see dextrose or maltodextrin, those are also corn derivatives, and they're kept in cheeses to keep them from clumping up. So you'll see our cheese clumps up, but it's also warm in here and near a warm thing. So we grate our own cheese.
Cool. So we're going to go through the process that leads it. We've already got the waffle iron is on a medium-high heat, and it's ready to go. We let this heat up a little beforehand when we're doing waffles or even grilled cheese sandwich. You want it to warm up a little bit because especially with waffles, if you just stick it right on there without the warm-up time, it's not going to, it'll take longer to finish that waffle. You want to kind of keep a nice rhythm going. So give it time to warm up. So we have put on the outside of the bread, April's putting a mayonnaise that has been seasoned with, what's it called?
Herbes de Provence.
Here's
I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. This is from Beth Doughton because she's a nice person and told me to try it out. I think she meant on chicken or something like that, but we're throwing it on our grilled cheese.
Caution to the wind with our grilled cheese sandwich. Thanks, Beth.
You can argue amongst yourselves whether to use Hellmann's or Duke's.
Go Dukes.
But I think this is Duke's. We're not mayonnaise snobs. For a while I was making my own mayonnaise, so.
Here's an up close of the bread, so you can see it's got even distribution of the mayonnaise. We've got the herbs, which is pre-mixed into the mayonnaise there.
Okay,
So, all right, now we're going to put the cheese combo on, and I like to slather mine as far over the sandwich as possible.
He likes cooked cheese. Like he'll just throw some off to the side. In fact, I made a little cheese octopus for him.
This is what happens to cheese
in the middle of the waffle iron.
Yep. When you cook your cheese in butter or oil, it crisps up like this. Very delicious. I don't know if anybody else is into that.
You pay big money for the Parmesan crisps. You usually get like 6 to 10 in a packet, and it's a couple of dollars.
Yep. Save yourself some money. Make your own Parmesan crisps or other cheese crisps. All right. So that's plenty of cheese on there. Is this yours or mine?
It's yours.
Okay. I'm gonna put tomatoes on mine.
These tomatoes are from our garden. I think these are the plants we got from our friends at, I don't remember the name of their farm. I know it's funny. It's like Wild Aster, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right. Wild Aster Farm. Sorry for saying your farm wrong.
It's Melissa and Brian English in Hurdle Mills area.
There you go. Hashtag them.
Yeah, hashtag them somehow. Okay, so there's the lid, and we just go push it down. I kind of hold it down most of the whole time. Anyway, we're not going to make you sit there while we do that because this is already going, whoa, we're past 5 minutes.
Yep.
So this is the done product.
And it has that
and it's super
cool
yummy, cooked all the way through.
Yeah, but it's a grilled cheese sandwich, straight up, and now it's segmented into these nice little waffle pieces.
And it doesn't take that long. I feel like we're actually being more efficient this way.
Yep.
So, than heating up a whole stovetop. All right, that's it for lunch. We will see you at dinner time. All right, hey, we're back and it's dinner time. We could have used the crock pot for dinner. We definitely had time for that, but we decided to use the rice cooker because we had some rice already cooked. As you can see here, this was from like 3 nights ago when we did have a working stove. I forget what we ate with it. Anyway, so I have yellow curry paste. I had done a batch of it and put it in the silicone cupcake holder things. I don't remember the ingredients. I did it as a big batch and then did individual servings. So all I do is take out my little frozen yellow curry paste thing and I put it in the pot with some rice and some water, and as you can see it's kind of bubbling away. In a little bit I'll add the coconut milk to kind of tame down the curry. It's the last ingredient that goes in with it. And on this side I have 2 sections, keep warm and cook. So once it goes to the keep warm, I'll know that that's done. Okay, and then that's sort of our main dish. We're not really doing well, we're sort of doing a protein with dinner, but I don't know how many of the kids will eat it. So anyway, in here is our 2 small cucumbers from our garden, and I just shredded those, added some salt and some garlic powder, and I'll add some plain yogurt to that and just get it to like a dipping consistency. And we have some pitas and we'll just eat that. And then the other thing is hummus. I don't use tahini oil or tahini paste. I feel like it's a waste of money. I don't know that it adds a lot to the dish. So I take sesame seeds and I soak them in oil or water depending on what kind of dish they're going into, and then I just chop them into, with the food processor, into garbanzo beans that have been drained. And I learned recently that all these actually, it says prepared garbanzo beans, so you don't have to sit there and take off the little skins that they have. So I do that and more garlic and lemon juice and some olive oil to keep it, is the word viscous, I think is the word, the viscosity needs to be correct. And then I add in some cumin and sometimes some parsley. So we're kind of doing 2 dips and the curry rice, and that's going to be our dinner tonight. My noonday pieces are from Haiti. I believe this is leather, and I think terracotta is the top. The bracelet is the same, and the earrings also, so I'm well accessorized for our evening meal without a stove.
Apples. One of the few fruits that just screams dessert. And since it screams dessert, we are
Just kidding.
We are going to use this particular fruit in our dessert. So we're going to set you down over here so you can see the action. You'll notice the crock pot. We decided to go for that.
Earrings.
And the noonday earrings.
These are one of my favorites because they're individual tassels, and if Flossie gets bored while we're out, I just take off the earring and I say, stick them in a different order. Count how many are brown. Count how many are not brown. And it keeps her occupied.
All right. So we are going to use the crock pot. We didn't get around to the fire pit. We'll save that for some other time.
No. So we cut up some apples, and I didn't use an official recipe. Did, but didn't. Tinkered with it. I always do that. So it was some apples cut up, and then it was lemon juice and some butter, and then on top of it went the stuff that makes it a crisp. So it was flour, brown sugar, walnuts, I forget what else was in there. And then you put in butter, not melted though, solid butter, so it gets that crumbly. And then you put it in the crock pot, and it cooked for about almost 3 hours. And then you're supposed to take off the lid and let it cook for 1 more hour to get crisp. We didn't do that part, but we were fine with the end result. So what we ended up with was more of a cobbler, because it kind of got more doughy on top. Still tastes really good. In fact, we were going to show you the inside of the crock pot, but alas, it is empty. And our children have eaten all of their servings worth, so we have nothing to show you in there. But Doug and I hadn't finished ours yet before we realized what we needed to do to get that picture of that lovely apple collar. So today was all about how to cook without an oven or a stove or a microwave or a rotisserie or an air fryer or an Instapot. I know I'm forgetting some more, but you can cook things without those.
So there you go. That's the whole day. We got them all in. We did all 4 meals. As you can see out the window there, it is totally dark outside. So we didn't just film this all at once within like a couple of hours in the daytime. This is like literally almost 9:30 right now at night. So there you go. 1 whole day cooking without any of those other things, getting creative. Hopefully we've inspired you to go ahead and get creative. If you have any ideas or hacks or anything like this, feel free to put it in the comments and share with us. We'd love to hear new ideas. We're always seeking ways to become smarter with our cooking. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.